Avalanche could be setting up for a huge market action, and of course, a lot of things are happening. We'll break it down for you. You don't want to miss it. My name is Paul Pharaoh. Welcome back into Tech Path. Let's get started. I do want to thank our sponsor, and that is Tangem, a great place for you guys to get into self-custody. And these are hardware wallets that look like credit cards, and they kind of work like one. You just need a phone, and it will sync up with that phone. You can set it up very easily, super secure, and one of the best ways for you to get into crypto self-custody. If you're brand new to crypto, this is the wallet for you. All you have to do is use our link down below, go over to the Tangem website, tangem.com, and you guys will get a little bit of a discount and, of course, begin the process of getting into self-custody. Always get the 3 card, by the way. That's the way to go. Let's go into a couple of points I want to hit on here. Abraxas Capital, we've talked about them before. They bet $561 million on ETH. So they're ditching their Bitcoin strategy in a big power move. So a lot of points within this that I think if you look at the overall transactions on Abraxas, this is going to get interesting. Here's the breakdown of their HECA funds right now. If you just look by holdings by chain, let me kind of zoom in on that for you guys so you can kind of really see. Look at that, Ethereum exploding. And number 2 right there is Avalanche. Could Avalanche be setting up for possibly some more liquidity coming in from Abraxas? Let's take a look. Other things that are happening, of course, that recently started to move into the market right here is, of course, Securitize. sBUIDL now is minted from BUIDL. This is the new fund for Securitize token. This is all happening within Euler Finance, but also within Avalanche. So again, this is the key to where we're going to start to see a lot of things around RWAs as well as tokenized securities playing into the Avalanche playbook. Euler Labs hit on this right here. It's BUIDL's first ever. We kind of zoom in on that for you. First ever direct DeFi integration. This is important because it does start to leverage in this next level of where Avalanche truly could be going, which is going to open up a lot of opportunity, I think, for in general around not only AVAX, the ecosystem, but what we're going to see in terms of price action for the token. When you take a look at Euler Finance, you can kind of see something in here which is intriguing, and that is, could BlackRock actually be rewarding their BUIDL holders with Avalanche? If you take a look right here, you can kind of see what's happening in the gold ecosystem. Rewards on Avalanche, right there on USDC, rewards on Avalanche. All right, so I want to jump to a clip real quick. This is the Euler CEO and the fact that they have really kind of brought Avalanche back to the forefront. Take a look.
I think I saw you guys go on to base. We're seeing you guys go on BNB. What is going on over at Avalanche?
Got a fantastic market over on Avalanche right now. Incredible growth within days. I think over 100 million. There's just been incredible growth over on Avalanche, partly because of the success that Risk Curators have had in curating like great markets over there.
You guys brought attention back to them.
All right, so the point they're making there is if you go over here and just look at DeFi Llama and you take a look at the TVL here on Euler, this is the growth that I'm getting to. Let me kind of edge in on that. I'll zoom up on this. Maybe I can zoom on. Yeah, here we go. So I want you guys to take a look at this. There's base. We'll zoom up here. You can kind of start to see the movement coming in on Avalanche right there at 27.3. If I can get it in there just right. Yeah, there you go. 273 million versus 1.2 billion on Ethereum. So already starting to make moves, and it's very early. One note on this is if you look at this activity right now, as you can see, it's already starting to move up some pretty significant chains here. But the point is this is all happening before the launch of sBUIDL. So could this be in the wings of an absolute explosion around what is happening over on Euler Finance? So a lot of cool activity out here. Other things I want to hit on, of course, as you guys probably heard, we broke some of this news out there, is Securitize and VanEck are bringing out their treasuries on chain, which was the VBIL. This, of course, is now live on Avalanche, Ethereum, and Solana. That was something I think that is probably maybe in response to what's been going on with Securitize. So I think you're going to see a lot of these institutions really starting to scramble to try to get in tokenized securities quickly. And if you compare what's happening over here on Solana in RWA activity, 330 million right now in terms of value, about 7,000 holders, 16 asset count. You get into that. Now let's jump over, take a look at Avalanche. 173 million, 7,000 holders, 26 RWA counts, asset counts. And right now, only 2.9 or 1 billion in market cap on stablecoin. But the point is, they're growing fast. And if you compare that, just we'll kind of toggle between both of these. Let's go back to right there, Solana. Take a look, 330, get the snapshot right there. and then boom, right there, Avalanche. Same, more asset counts and more holders. So this is one of those things that could start to telegraph the kind of growth we're going to see in the AVAX ecosystem. Now the growth, speaking of growth, well, you got to talk about L1s. Now I want to scan down here and I'm going to show you daily active addresses. Let's zoom in on this right here and look at this explosion that's happening right now. All of this is because L1s are rolling out, and that means more transactions, a lot more liquidity, and a lot more opportunity going forward in the ecosystem. Right there, you can kind of see just in this short period of time between 24 and where we are right now. If you look at the all-time high, which was really back in December, that's where we were right there, holding it around maybe 2.7, yeah, almost 3 billion, to where we are right now. So are we in a position in terms of locked up DeFi and we are nowhere near the price of what we saw back in December, just so you guys kind of get that in correlation does not match up. So is that a position that could be brewing for Avalanche to see some chart movement here overall? We'll take a look at the chart here in a second. Maplestory is now officially available. You can mint your new story available. It's out there going live. And of course, this is one of the biggest game networks out there. And there's reasons for this. And of course, this is now on Avalanche. Here's John Wu getting into the launch of Maplestory. Take a look.
There's a company called Nexxon, a publicly traded company in Asia.
Largest gaming company in Korea, I think.
Largest gaming company in Korea. But they have a game called Maplestory. Maplestory's been around for 15, 20 years. They have over 250 million users. So far, in just like this early launch, they are creating 10 million plus transactions a day. It is massive right now. We're hoping a lot of that 250 million people will now come, and those consumers will be using the Avalanche blockchain as a whole. Gonzilla has this game called Off the Grid.
I knew you were going to say that. Congratulations on all the success with Off the Grid.
All right, so the point that John was getting at is that this could really open up the opportunity for what we believed Avalanche could achieve, and that is just an unbelievable amount of transactions in L1 starting to roll out. Here's his statement right here on X. Maplestory now live, less than 24 hours, 1.8 million addresses now active. Now remember, address versus total transactions. Imagine the hundreds, if not thousands of transactions per address. So this is the opportunity that Avalanche is brewing into. Here's Luigi coming in. We've had him on the team, their biz dev guy over at Avalanche. Maplestory launched already, burned 100K in AVAX on the C chain within the first hour. Guys, within the first hour. That's the kind of opportunity that we're talking about here. And another clip here, because this Nexxon, the company, makes Maplestory. This is getting into maybe where this could go. What is the potential? That's the point we're going to get at. Take a look.
How do you make money? How does this make sense for Nexxon?
There is a massive gray market for in-game items operated by third parties. And we are estimating that the annual transaction volume of Maplestory items alone in the gray market goes beyond $1 billion in US dollars by annual basis. What we are bringing here is the ecosystem where anyone can build their own content, find their own audience, user base, and we are offering the IP that makes their own content even more fruitful or attractive, where content creation is infinite.
Okay, so the point I'm going to get at here is NXPC, the company behind Maplestory, also many other games, is that they could be setting up the rest of the gaming industry to understand the kind of opportunity in terms of the business model that this creates on the AVAX chain that could create a domino effect in gaming overall. Just look at the CoinMarketCap position right now. NXPC holding in the volume. Let me zoom in on this right here. Volume right now, 24 hours, 1.9 billion, and fully diluted over at 2.64 billion right there. Market cap holding in very nicely as well. So when you look at just what this means for not only Avalanche, but the potential for more L1s rolling out on this, more gaming, and also more transactions around RWAs, all things are pointing to some pretty big activity with AVAX brewing. Now, I want to show you something here. This is kind of interesting. 93% allocated to the community. This is on Maplestory's Universe Unmatched token distribution. So this is where they go. And that's on the far right. That's Maplestory's contributor and community, 96% committed, all right? Now take a look at Hyperliquid, which is also very community driven, 70%. Then you go into typical IPO. This is VC. Look at the amount of founders, others, look at the team and even foundation versus IP operation and team over on this approach. This is the kind of thing that really starts to change the model of how many of these companies could go to market in the future. And if you think about everything on the blockchain and the future of that, Avalanche centered right in the middle. On to another point. If you go in and look at the L1s that are queuing up to go live, they are stacking up like crazy. I'm going to scan down here, guys. Look at this. These are all L1s yet to launch. So what I just showed you on DeFi Llama in terms of the transactions that we were looking at just with the launch of Maplestory, that's the kind of scenario we are dealing with. Now, where could you make money on this? Who will be the potential winners? One potential out there is going to be Pharaoh. We've talked about Pharaoh before. This, of course, is kind of a new opportunity for you to go out there and trade within the AVAX ecosystem. A lot of trade volume, all starting to ramp up. If you go all the way back here, this is where they were in October. Let me kind of zoom in on that if I can. There we go. This is back in October, starting to blow through, and you can kind of just see up and to the right. So volume here on Pharaoh. If I'm looking for some opportunities here, Pharaoh could be the one that, you know, could supplant even TraderJoe, and we know how much of an impact TraderJoe has had. One thing to note, let me kind of zoom in on this for you guys right here. Let's go over to Pharaoh Exchange right there, holding it around 45.8 million, getting ready to flip BlackRock's RWA position and moving right in to the crosshairs of TraderJoe. So you get my point here. The opportunity is going to get big. Last up, if you just take a look at the Pharaoh chart, I'll just show you guys this. I'll zoom out a little bit. Look at this high holding in at around 1167, where it's trading right now around 336. So one to watch for sure. Market cap on this, 6.2 million. Is this a play? I'll let you guys be the judge of that. Last up, of course, if you're thinking where we're going to start to see a lot of this activity, Uniswap. That's the place you need to be paying attention, which is another thing to keep an eye on is Unichain and what's happening there, because the opportunity here between these two could become very, very good overall. Last up I want to hit, and that is that Avalanche is just, I think they're just getting started on a lot of this drop in terms of news. They are holding their event in London. This is May 20th through the 22nd, so it's happening very soon, just in a few days. We will see what's going to be released over there at the Hatfield House. I'm expecting some fireworks. There's a lot of people set to attend this event, at least on the speaker side. This could be an intriguing thing. So keep your eyes out here. If you guys are not subscribed to the show, make sure and do that right now. That way you'll get a notification if you hit the little bell when we go live or when we drop a new video. And if you're not in our Diamond Circle, make sure and join that. It's absolutely free. If you are not in our Telegram group, I leave a link down below and you can talk to me directly. So it's very easy to do. Catch me on X. Otherwise, we'll catch you next time right here on TechPath.